Welcome back, family.
Welcome back, you beautiful creatures.
We are doing the thing today, guys. It's Wednesday.
Yep.
It's Wednesday. As I had to type that into the thing.
That's the only way I remember Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah. I say Wednesday.
Mike. Guess what day it is? Hump day.
Hump day.
Mike. So what's up, everybody? Good morning. I hope everybody's having a good week.
Bonjour. I don't know how to say good morning in other languages.
What is enchanté? What is that?
My pleasure.
Huh? My pleasure?
Enchanté. My pleasure.
That's
So,
what
like-
came to mind when you said that.
So when someone says, like, it's nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm working on it.
Enchanté.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, before we went live, I saw Jenna in the chat said, welcome home, everyone in the chat. And I love that.
Yeah. It's a really good way to put it.
Yep. Yep.
Jaden, welcome to a live. My goodness. Never made it to live before. So excited. We're excited. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Greece again, because we're fucking super excited about Greece.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about couples retreats. We're going to read a chapter of my book, the first book, because we're doing it as a celebration of chapter 8 of my new book being written, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
Being able to tie in Jungian's shadow psychology into the Celestine prophecies control dramas made me feel like a big brain.
I bet it did. I bet it did.
Yep. So we have some downtime today. We're gonna Q&A before we get into like emails and stuff later. So how is everybody doing? Sorry for your sleep. Sorry your sleep was doo-doo, Chris. It was. You know what? I almost fell off the bed twice last night. We bought a new bed, guys. For those of you who didn't see that on TikTok, and it's very squishy.
Yes.
It's very springy. It'll make for great bedroom playtime, but for sleeping, not so much. And I rolled over last night and I tried to get in that like pop your back position.
Yeah.
So my knee went over and it went right off the edge of the bed and it almost rolled me right the fuck off. And I caught myself and like it hurt my back a little bit.
Yeah.
And it happened twice last night. Same thing, trying to get into that position and I had to like roll all the way into the middle of the bed to like lay that way. But I didn't fall off the bed.
That's good.
Dummy over here did.
About to say, like father, like son.
Yeah, he did fall off the bed.
He did. Scared the fuck out of us last night.
Yeah. And
he fell hard.
it was only this far to the ground. It's not like he had to fall off of a bed frame.
But
He
him
rolled
going-
off a mattress. Yeah.
Trying to stand back up.
Yeah.
I bet he was asleep.
He hit it hard. And when he
Yeah.
did, he was like, did you see that, Dad?
Once he finally got his footing on the ground, he popped his head up.
Yeah. And he was sitting down, but you could still see from like
Yeah.
here up on him over our bed, which is pretty funny. I sent my mom and best friend your check-in, so hopefully it helps their marriages. I love that, guys.
Yep.
So when you guys want to support us, the best thing that you can do is share the content. Like obviously joining our Patreon and shit matters a lot to us because it helps us continue to do what we are doing, but sharing the content is the next best thing.
It is.
And it doesn't cost you shit. So share it away, guys. Share. Peaches, your chair looks, holy crap.
My goodness.
I think it just jumped. Peaches is glowing today. She always glows, but today is so vibrant.
Thank you.
Where did the thing about the chair go?
Right there from Tiffany on Facebook. Your chair makes it look like you have a veil on. Thank you.
Oh yeah, because it's so bright compared to the
Yeah.
back of the chair. All right, so let's talk about Greece and then let's get into the book thing because we have a lot of people watching right now. I'm so fucking excited to go to Greece, guys. Bloop. Nope, that's the live stream. All right, I have to go back to Drove a Trip. I had a whole lot of things happening at once. I am not prepared. I mean, I am prepared to go to Greece. All right, you want to go over the itinerary again? Do you want to just talk about like give a quick little short and sweet since we kind of went over it? I think we should just go over all of it again. Because there's people that are going to be
Okay.
here right now that weren't here on Monday.
Okay.
Let me real quick go back to the main page so that I can post it in the chat. And then go to the itinerary. Buff Bell said, I am so ready for Greece.
While my husband's doing that. Oh, sorry, I
ahead.
didn't mean to interrupt you. I got a new ring.
Why does it look like a blurry dick? Oh, there we go. Definitely doesn't look like a dick now.
It's
It
a
looks like a gecko.
chameleon.
Yeah.
And he sits on my thumb. I love him.
What's his name? Quick, what's his name?
Oh my gosh, why is turquoise the only thing coming to my mind?
You said it without fucking it up.
I
though.
know. I had to think about it first, though.
That's funny.
What?
I'm waiting on a name
Oh,
for your gecko, your chameleon.
Paul.
Paul. Hi, I'm Paul. Buff Bell said, "Is that a wiener?"
It's not.
It focused. All right. So, guys, in May of 2026, from the 10th to the 16th, we are going to be doing a Greece trip the way that we've done Costa Rica and Thailand. Costa Rica takes off in a month, babe. We are a month away from Costa Rica for 2 weeks. I am fucking pumped.
Yep.
So ready for this trip. But we were going to try to do something at the end of this year, November, December-ish, to like wrap up 2025. And we decided that going to 2026 makes a whole lot more sense because it gives people who are going to Costa Rica with us the opportunity to also go to Greece.
Yes.
Because people who were in Thailand with us booked Costa Rica while they were fucking in Thailand.
Yeah.
So like we are getting a lot of return guests coming on these things, which is super fun because we're building relationships with people we would never built a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
But May 10th, we will be landing in Athens, Greece.
Yes.
That's where our welcome dinner is going to be. The welcome dinner is a get to know the host. They have a big thing planned out where they take us out to a restaurant and like everybody sits at one big table and we just have a lot of back and forth and hanging out. However, we're probably going to get to know a lot of you before that big dinner.
Yeah.
Because we'll probably see you guys in the hotel and shit. Like it's, you know.
Yep.
So, after we have the big dinner, we have an evening walk around the area. And then
2-hour walk.
2-hour walk. Yep. And then day 2 starts with breakfast. Go ahead. Do your double bread thing. Croissant. Your croissant.
I'm very excited for the bread.
Can one of the mods pin both of that Grease link in both chats, please? On YouTube and Facebook. Okay. Do your thing.
Oh, I'm actually reading it?
Yes.
Okay. So, first morning in Greece. I can't wait to see a sunset. A sunrise. I mean, both.
We got a lot of them in Thailand.
We did.
Yeah.
We were waking up 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
There was one morning that I woke up and it was still raining outside. And I was hearing the jungle sounds while smoking and doing work stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat.
Okay. But all right. Once you read the breakfast thing, we won't have to read breakfast again because this is the same thing every day of the trip. But think about that. Like, think about last year, you being on that balcony in the morning, blazing up, having a sunset or sunrise, working from a fucking balcony in Thailand.
Yeah.
While we were on vacation with people who actually became our friends.
Right.
Like, that's insane to think about,
insane.
especially with like, you know, you're like almost 30.
Right. I'm not even 30 yet.
I know, right? And that was your life. Like, you were out there entrepreneur and shit.
Yeah.
Like, man, you're a badass.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too. So breakfast will be the same every single morning. It is included with the resort stay. We are going to have a typical Greek continental breakfast. It includes coffee, tea, bread, jams, honey, yogurt, milk, croissants, cake, cereals, seasonal fruits, eggs, cold cuts, bacon, and sausages. Above items may vary. They do get that stuff fresh locally. I'm excited to have cake for breakfast too.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
And then our first full day. My goodness. 4 hours. We're going to have a half-day tour of Athens. We'll be checking out. So we will be spending the night in Athens that first night, have our welcome dinner, do our breakfast, and then we will be checking out our first full day and traveling somewhere else. You'll find out later. And we'll be transferred to the Acropolis. Explore the mighty Parthenon. Almost said Patreon.
You can do that by subscribing to our Patreon, though. You can definitely check out the mighty, amazing Patreon. That would have been a good fucking slip and just like catch segue.
I'm so sorry. I'm a massive foodie. I got up to 340 pounds easy. And someone just said you have to try the street vendors in Greece while you're there. Sold. Are you kidding me? Easy, accessible food while we're walking around.
Didn't you guys eat a scorpion in Thailand?
No, I wanted to. I don't think we were able to find it.
I think y'all did. And I think the other people that were supposed to eat it with you backed out. And that's why it didn't happen.
I didn't. I ended up not eating it. All right. So we will go into the Parthenon, built mid-5th century. Are you kidding me? My goodness. This magnificent structure sits above a compound of temples known as the Acropolis of Athens, overlooking the city. Take a step back in time as you wander through the Acropolis amongst ruins and architectural marvels. Learn about the ancient Greek civilization and visit the site of the first Olympic Games. Isn't that where they believe like all of the gods and goddesses came to as well?
I'm not Greek mythology. We can talk Norse mythology. I got that one in the bag.
I'm almost certain. Yep. This tour includes walking on uneven ground. The sites visited at parts include uphill walking on unpaved ground. Please wear comfortable walking shoes, non-slip, and pack a hat, sunscreen, and water. You will be walking approximately 2.6 miles at the end of the tour. You will be towards the port for a leisurely lunch on your own and to board the ferry to Mykonos.
So we'll have a leisurely lunch. That means we get to sit down and relax after that 2.6 mile excursion. I'm about that.
I'm going to round it up to 3 miles because that'll make me feel, holy shit.
All right, pause everything. Stop the world. We got to get off. From Rin, we just got a $150 super chat. Thank you so much for that.
Mike, thank you.
Would love to support you guys further. The both of you have helped me greatly. Off topic from Greece, but I would love to know your opinions on the idea that we should normalize putting our partner's favorite gemstone in wedding rings over the usual diamonds. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm on board with that 100%. I think that diamonds are overrated. I think that personalizing wedding rings makes it more meaningful.
So the reason that we use diamonds in wedding rings is because it's supposed to strengthen bonds.
Mhm.
So in like crystal theory, a diamond has a purpose in a wedding ring.
Yeah.
And the ring itself signifying eternally is a promise being worn on your finger. Like there's a lot of symbolism that goes behind it, but I definitely like the idea of making it your own.
Yeah.
Because it's, you get my last name.
Mm-hmm.
I get a piece of gold, right? Like that's what we're really exchanging right now. But if we're having ways to make things our own, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wear a gold wedding ring. I wear a black one that's got like cool little carvings in it.
Yeah.
So like it's mine, you know what I mean? I love that. I think that that's crazy though. Like if you could find, and I say crazy because I know how expensive it would be to actually use a sapphire over a diamond because mine's a sapphire stone. I actually think yours.
My birthstone sapphire.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. We were born in the same month, babe.
Right, but you're a Virgo and I'm a Libra. Our stone should be different.
So I don't think that your birthstones correspond with your
astrological sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those are divvy up really weirdly in between months and whatnot. Now I have to double check.
Yeah, because I don't know. That's not exactly my area of expertise because I don't believe in astrology. I think horoscopes all read the same thing for everybody. It fits. You go, oh yeah, I can totally relate to that. Yeah, me too. Cool. You know.
Yeah, we're both sapphire.
Okay.
So, yeah,
but
each month corresponds with a stone, and then.
But a non-lab grown sapphire is worth more than a diamond.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking hard to find them versus diamonds that are, being pulled out of rivers. So,
right.
That was a great question. Wait, did you just send it twice? Oh no, it scrolled. Okay. I was like, damn.
Thank you for that, Ren.
That was amazing.
My goodness.
100% will interrupt our shit every time for big super chats, guys.
Oh yeah.
All right, back to it, babe. After our leisurely lunch. I almost did it back. I'm not autistic.
We're both autistic.
Shh, no, we're not. You are.
Wow.
When that fucking air tank hit the thing in the garage yesterday and went dong, or the other day when I was filming the thing, I had stopped everything I was doing and
replicated
it.
I can also tell we're autistic with our echolalia.
Yeah.
We mimic the dog sounds.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
One of the dogs will come up to me and be like, humph. And I'll be like, oh, humph, back to you. It's fun. So we will be at the port. After our leisurely lunch, we will take a private transfer to the port in Athens for our ferry to Mykonos. There will be no stops for restrooms and snacks will be provided on the way. There is a toilet on the ferry.
Correct.
I am going to let you guys know now, trying to piss while moving on the water is not easy.
And them rooms are not big.
No. I am not an extra large person, but that bathroom made me feel like an extra large person.
So this will be day 3, which is technically day 1 in Mykonos.
Yes. So we will have breakfast once again provided, and then we will have a 2-hour Mykonos walking tour. This morning, a private coach will transfer you 30 minutes into a Mykonos town for your city and tasting tour. Oh my gosh.
All the food. For those of you guys who actually heard all of this on Monday, just bear with us. We're going to get through this and then we're going to do our normal content. Monday, we only went live to announce the Greece trip because it was an early bird thing. Yeah. Speaking of the early bird, there's still 3 slots left if you guys would like to go. If you're going as a couple, booking those early bird slots can save you $600.
Yeah.
Which really helps with airfare.
It does.
So like, if you guys are wanting to go, I would try to get that shit done as quickly as you can.
On this leisurely walk through the narrow alleyways of Chora, you will see the iconic windmills, the Little Venice, and gain insight into local life of the island. Although Mykonos has been a travel destination since the 1960s, it retains much of its local character and traditions. You'll be walking for approximately 1.3 miles on this tour. And then Taste of Mykonos. This will be 2 hours long. During your exploration of Mykonos, your local guide will stop at a typical Greek island cafe, a renowned bakery, and a family-run restaurant where you will taste some of the delicious local delicacies and learn about the historical and cultural connections of each and every flavor. After, you will have some free time for lunch. Oh gosh, really? You think we're going to eat lunch after all of that? The answer is yes. Or to shop and explore before beginning to transfer 30 minutes back to your hotel. You will have the remainder of the day at your leisure.
And we'll be staying at a pretty baller resort.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like we're staying in some like little fucking shitty hostel.
Yeah, we're not staying at Motel 6, guys. Where we'll be staying is an equivalent to a 4-star resort.
Yeah. Yep.
And then dinner that night is not provided. So that will be a fend for yourself time.
Yeah. There will be 6 breakfasts and 2 dinners. Yeah.
Day 4, breakfast included, we will have a 4-hour Mykonos Beach Club experience. In the late morning, a private coach will transfer you 45 minutes to the beach. You'll be able to spend the day at a beach club and enjoy a cocktail by the beach. Any additional drinks or food will be at your own expense. There are also sunbeds for purchase if you wish. Please note, today you should pack a bathing suit, towel, sunscreen, glasses, hat, and cash. Once your time at the beach club is complete, you will be transferred back to your accommodations for the remainder of the day.
Post this link one more time. I did see Belle say something about an infinity pool or something along those lines. As of right now, which hotel we're staying at has not been confirmed booked.
Right.
I reached out to Brandon from Trova and was like, hey, dude, what's the deal on this? And he's like, until Brandon is one of multiple people that we deal with, he gets back to me the fastest.
Yeah.
So he was like, until we get closer to the actual day and we know exactly how many people are confirmed, we don't book the rooms. Mm-hmm. So it'll be booked closer, but he did say that it will be a 3 or 4 star. Like it'll be a Baller space. All right. Day 5, we have breakfast.
We do have breakfast. Today is yours to enjoy a free day to relax on the beach and take in island vibes or head back into town to do some shopping and sightseeing.
This is a day for us to just do whatever we want to do.
Yep.
And this will be the day that we likely host seminars. We'll probably do 2 of them that day.
I think we should do one in the morning and one in the evening.
I agree. That way people can get it in like right after breakfast. And then, we'll do another one at nighttime like we did last time. Cause that one had everybody winded down and like.
It was a good, for me, it was a good release of energy at the end of the day.
It was a good way to wrap up our trip too.
Yeah. It was the last day, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. The last night we had there.
Yep. All right. And then day 6, we return to Athens.
Yes. Today you will get to enjoy a leisurely breakfast before you have to wave goodbye to Mykonos. My goodness. You'll be privately transferred to the dock and take a ferry back to Athens. Once in Athens, you will be privately transferred to your new accommodations. Enjoy some free time before your farewell dinner to cap off the trip.
Yep. So we will be having one final dinner on at the end of day 6.
We will have a 5-hour ferry back to Athens. And then we will have a 1-hour transport to the resort. So it'll be 6 hours of travel that day.
But we'll all be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to be on a ferry. It also said high-speed ferry at some point.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
So I think we're going to be more than just tootling about.
Yeah. When I think of ferry, I think there's cars on that bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's just something that ferries people back and forth. It doesn't have to take cars. Who knows? Either way, though, because like we'll be seeing the other islands of Greece. It's not like we're just going to be in the fucking middle of the ocean with nothing.
Right.
So Zoe Foster in the chat said, "Fairy jam sessions. You guys need to wear neck braces this time because in Thailand y'all hurt your fucking selves."
I did something to my neck. I was wrecked for the rest of the trip. I was headbanging to Bohemian Rhapsody. That's what happened. All right, day 7. This will be our last breakfast. All good things must come to an end, but only until your next adventure. Enjoy a final breakfast and then make your own way onward. If departing directly from the hotel, we recommend flying out of Athens.
Zoe said, "I'll bring my air guitar." That's funny. They said, "Whoa, did y'all see that?" I saw that. What'd you see? Yes, I saw the glitch. Oh yeah, it happens. So we actually just ordered a brand new tower that should hopefully be here this week sometime, but I don't know. I've tracked it. They're still waiting on like the package to arrive with the shipper or whatever. But we bought a whole new tower because this thing is on its last leg. So Abby would like you and Beth Bell to recreate Mamma Mia while you're in Greece.
I have never seen Mamma Mia.
That's good because I don't want to have to hear you guys singing ABBA.
I know. Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, Figaro.
Different song.
I know. But that's the only thing I know related that has Mamma Mia in it.
That's funny. Ox Kitten on YouTube said, "Are you guys planning on doing a similar Greece tour in the future? Can't afford this right now, but would love to start saving for the possible future." So let's talk about the money and the way this works. If you guys want to go to Greece with us, you have an entire year to pay this trip off. It's 25% down and you can make payments on it through Trova Trip. If you don't have the money to put the 25% down and you really want to go and you want to get the early bird, there is a way to finance the trip through a firm like getting a credit card. Any of you that's ever bought anything that's expensive, big computers or car stereos or anything like that, you'll always see the little Affirm thing, 4 easy payments through Affirm or whatever, and Affirm will finance your trip that way. It does not cover your tickets though. That's you can actually get Affirm to pay for your tickets too if you really do the work there. But you can book the trip for 25% down and then make payments on it. The final payment has to be made at March of next year. So it gives you an entire year to pay for your trip if you want to go. But to answer your question, yes, we plan on doing one big trip every year, maybe 2 sometimes. But we are also doing domestic trips in the United States. And you guys can find those things on tobebetter.com. We have one in June that has 3 spots left. That's in Cape Coral, Florida.
There were 2 spots left.
Might be 2. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. And then we have North Carolina in August, which only has one spot left. And it's a single room for 2 people. And the website, all the pricing and everything is there. So you guys can go check that out. But Jay said, take advantage of balance transfers with no interest as well. Guys, this Jay is right with this. If you guys have the ability to apply for credit cards that do airline miles, Peaches and I travel a lot.
We do.
And we rarely pay for plane tickets because we use our business card for everything and we cash our business points in for air miles so that we can then use the air miles to go everything. There's no tax deduction. There's no tax anything there. We get to write our trip off because we are going for business. And if you guys are like, Jay is a photographer. And if Jay decided to go to Greece, I can hire him on, to be my photographer, our personal photographer while we're in Greece, and he can write the whole fucking trip off. I would be willing to give him $100 to hire him as a photographer a week. Done. Right?
Sold.
Yeah. The experience, the portfolio, all of the things that go into all of that, like it's a big deal. Lonnie B said, "We traveling." Lacey said, "David and I will only be able to do domestic trips until we are off paper." I get that. It happens. But like I said, we have 2 trips this year, June and August, for domestic retreats, one in Florida, one in North Carolina. tobebetter.com. You guys can check that out. Jay, I really hope that you and Krista are able to come to Greece, man. That's genius. We should do an episode just on that. Just on what? Because I just said a whole lot of things. Kaylin said, "Please keep up with making the BPD videos. I'm newly diagnosed and really struggling. My boyfriend and I love your videos." I'm sorry that you are struggling, but I'm glad that you got diagnosed. I'm really glad. What's up, Monk? Hey, everybody, Monk's in the chat. That's who I buy my motorcycles from.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you got diagnosed because now that you're diagnosed, you have the information to start taking care of yourself. You're not guessing anymore. This is no longer throwing shit at the wall and hoping that something sticks. Knowing that you have borderline means that you can start doing dialectic behavioral therapy. You can start doing cognitive behavioral therapy. There's another one called CPT that I was supposed to look into that I didn't because I decided to write a book instead. But you can do all of those things and those things will help you. So take the time to read and do those things. It's a good thing. So Good thing to know. Having a diagnosis means that you're not a label anymore. You have an idea of what you need to do the research to start healing yourself, and you can heal yourself. Joshua said, you guys are absolutely amazing. I love the relationship you have and the respect you two have for one another. I love y'all. Keep it up. There was a super chat earlier from Australia. I don't know if I read it, but it was from Tiana. Hello from Australia. I don't want to make sure I don't want to miss people's super chats. If you guys want to make sure that your shit is read on the thing, leave a super chat on YouTube. Madison said, will you have any small meetup or weekend trip in Florida this year? Possibly. Yes, we are. Costa Rica in June. It is
And
Cape Coral.
yeah.
Costa Rica is in May. Cape Coral in June. We have it's on the website, tobebetter.com, but we are doing a five couple retreat where you guys come and stay in a giant ass house with us for an entire weekend. There's seminars all day Saturday. Buff Bell and her husband will be doing boudoir shoots on Sunday that are optional. There's a big dinner Friday night. You guys will be cooking on Saturday. Like there's a whole lot of shit going on. We planned a pretty impressive weekend. And as much as I would love to sell the entire thing out, if it doesn't sell out, the people who are coming are going to have a lot more personal time, right? So like if I was somebody that really wanted to go to one of these things and there was only 5 slots and I was really like into the people that were going and I knew that I was going to gain value, I would book out a couple of the rooms. I'm just saying, because that if there was 10 people there and I could somehow make it only 6 or 4, I'm gonna get a whole lot more interaction with these people and I'm going to gain a whole lot more from it. But that's where you have to ascertain your, what you're willing to spend to do things like that. I'm trying to rub elbows with anybody that can help me level up in life. Can't wait till Chris and Peach come to the West Coast, the best coast. I disagree, but
I disagree as well.
I would love to go over there and see the redwoods and travel the coast.
I think nature wise, it's pretty neat.
I think it's neat,
but I don't think it's the best coast.
I think Montana. When we're talking about just like landscape, Montana shits on California.
Yeah.
Shits on the entire West Coast. It shits on Florida. It shits on Tennessee. Like we're talking just connected to the United States, the lower 48. Yeah, y'all ain't got nothing on Montana. Oh man. Zaffa said, so excited. Thanks for Monday's Patreon Live. It gave us the courage to pull the trigger on snowbirding and homeschooling. We are so bloody excited. 7 months in Canada and 5 months in South Africa a year. Dude, I love that.
Good for you.
I am jealous. Like there's a little spark of envy in me right now. I kind of want to be like, fuck you, bro. Like
someone's win is not your loss. Babe.
I know. I'm rooting for him. There's just a little bit of jealousy there because I want to travel to Canada and South Africa. Like I want to do things. Love that for you. I love that for you. I hope that you're in our Discord. You post pictures, all that shit.
I think they are. I'm almost certain that was Sappho, right?
Yeah.
I'm almost certain they're in Discord.
Iggy said, so excited to meet you guys and everyone else in North Carolina. It's going to be so healing for me.
I believe that.
I can't wait to meet, blah, 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 blah. I can't wait to meet your old man. He's the only person that I've sent my entire book to so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been giving me a lot of really good feedback and he's been honest about it, which is nice. It's nice for where we are to not have people like try to dick ride what we're doing or invite themselves onto our podcast or try to force themselves into our lives.
I mean, people do. But
they do it all the time, but he hasn't done
Yeah.
that. And it's refreshing to have people in our lives that don't do that. So if you like Montana, Saskatchewan, and Alberta are very similar landscape. Gemma said June shows no availability.
Good. I mean,
Gamma.
I hate that. I'm sorry if that means that you can't make it, but that means that we sold out.
That can't be right though. Iggy, can you get your old man to get on in this chat room, please? Because there should still be a few slots left on that.
You said there was 1 slot left for North Carolina.
That's August. But there should be still some for the couples retreat in June. There should still be 2 or 3 spots left. We also are selling individual days for those who just want to come on that Saturday and do the seminars. We have that available as well. It still says purchase. It doesn't say how many are available, but it says purchase. You can still buy them.
If she didn't scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, that could be the issue.
Yeah. I believe that there's 2 or 3 spots left for Florida, but I could be wrong. I haven't checked any of my emails and shit. He's here. He's here. Great. Can you tell me how many spots we have left available on both of the trips, please? I need to put him on a payroll. I think I'm going to have to start sending him money monthly because I'm always like, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? And he just does it. And I feel like an asshole I feel like I'm taking advantage of him. Chris, can you also text me your PayPal, please? so that I can make that a thing.
Florida has 3 spots left.
Dope. North
Thank you,
Carolina has
Chris.
1. So we were right. 3-1.
He is Johnny on the spot.
He is, and it doesn't matter. I've texted him at 11:30 at night, and he's just done shit.
Mhm.
Like I'm very grateful to have people like that in our life. It makes all of this run. I wouldn't be able to do this. Like I know that I do a lot of the back end tech stuff, but without Zach and Jenny and Jenna and all of the mods in Discord, Danish and all, everyone, like Discord wouldn't be a thing.
Right.
And without having people like Chris that's doing our website and all the back end shit, like I wouldn't have time to do all of this. I would get so burnt out and so stressed out that I wouldn't want to do shit anymore. M said, Peach, I was listening to an older episode where you spoke on your possible book. Do you still plan on writing one? Peaches, are you going to write a book?
I am currently writing one.
Oh.
I am currently working on my self-help book. I don't know what I'm naming it yet, but I am almost done with chapter 1. I'm not as fast moving as my husband is. I overthink shit and I rewrite things and I change grammar, and if it doesn't read like a poetry or like a song, I don't want it.
Have you ever seen that meme where the guy's typing and it goes all the way down to his nubs because he's aggressively typing so much? That's me writing my book. And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, my hands hurt. Here, Chris, does this read right?
Yeah.
Do it to you too. I read them out loud. For those of you who are interested in Peach's book, we actually read it live for our ultimate tier.
I did. I read my intro.
Night, and people were crying. Like they're like, this is gonna be amazing. Can I pre-order it now? Like,
yeah.
That
I don't know how I feel about that. That's a lot.
Why?
Because we are our own worst critics.
Yeah, it's hard.
And why are you laughing?
Because I can't wait until you release your book and you get to feel that pit in your stomach the way that I felt it in mine.
I'm already feeling it.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, there's anxiety. There is worry that the introduction is going to be the best part of it.
Yeah.
And all of these other things.
You read me some of your chapter last night. The chapter was good.
I read you a paragraph of it.
It was good. Somebody said you should call it Flight of the Bumble Bitches.
That's funny.
It should be called What Would Peach Do? What is the premise of what you're doing?
Discovering who you are. Shutting out all of the noise, the judgment. I think chapter 2 is going to be deep diving what shame is and how it's a powerful manipulation tool.
I think that would help a lot of women.
Yeah.
Because that is the most psychologically used tool against young women.
Yeah.
Is shame, blame, and judgment.
Yeah. I that's actually going to be some of the chapters. I have shame, judgment, guilt.
You're gonna do each of them as its own individual thing?
I think so. Chapter 1 is called Who Are You?
Who are you? Ooh.
Ooh, ooh. Come on, tell me now. Ooh. Oh, that song's a vibe. But that chapter is getting into what it looks like when you finally discover that you're a slave to your life. And when you decide that you're no longer going to be that and you're going to reclaim your free will, people are going to hate you for it.
Absolutely.
And something that I'm really proud of that I typed out in that first chapter is that people want you to maintain your toxic cycles because it feeds into their victim mentality. What?
I just drank some lemonade. It's bitter. I just want some sugar. I'm proud of you. Your book is...
I appreciate that, babe.
Oh, man. Don't do it. Don't cry.
Stop.
Suck them back. Go like this. Do the thing.
Okay, I gotta take my glasses off. I have to look up at the light. Are we ready?
Throw back to season 1.
That air on the red part of my eye skin
Yeah.
is nice.
People that are just tuning in are like, what the fuck?
Oh, wow. I feel so refreshed.
Refreshed?
Refreshed.
Refreshed.
Yeah.
There you go. It's like new skin.
Yeah.
You read a little bit of your book last night to me, and I read a little bit of my book to you, and we're writing the same chapters in different parts of our books.
Yeah.
And the verbiage is very different because you speak differently than I do. So like I think that because my book is about healing after a breakup or a divorce, but a lot of the conversation is reinventing who you are. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. And that actually might be the name of my book. So Add that to the Peach Dictionary, refleshed.
Yep.
Oh, man. How has fitness been for both of you? Been fitting fucking burritos and pizza in my mouth. That's how it's been going.
We haven't been to the gym in like 2 months.
Yeah. I'm down though. I'm down 10 pounds.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah. We went for 2 weeks and then life kind of got in our way and we just stopped. We're still paying for it. I plan on going. I'm just not on Mondays and Wednesdays. The days that we have to record and we have to walk the dogs, like I'm not willing to squish my day and make the day super chaotic and crazy and put me in like an anxiety state to go to the gym. Or we're going to have to get up stupid fucking early, let the dogs out, put them in their kennels, go to the gym, and then come home and walk them.
We can also go at separate times. Like if that's such a thing for you. I'm trying to work out like 5-6 days a week. I'm very unhappy with my body right now.
Well, if we go every day but Monday and Wednesday, that is 5 days a week. But I don't mind going. I'm just not, like I said, I'm not going to go when I have to. If we have to record at 9 o'clock and we have to do all the dog shit and all the normal life stuff that has to happen, I have to get up early, like 6 and go to the gym and get it out of the way or I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
So, but that's life. I mean, that's just going to be the way that it is. But this is also us trying to make it work on our schedule together versus, you know, me going when I go and you go when you go, because I could get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym every day. And then you would take the kids to school and then you would go to the gym and I'm not going to see you until 9 or 10 o'clock. Like, and then our day is going to start at that point. I'll have already walked the dogs. We'll have to hurry up, come to the studio. Like there's just a whole lot in that. Chloe Hill said, just ordered your book, Chris. So excited to give it to my boyfriend. Well, thank you for that. D Payne said, how has the diets gotten post the last Mother Aya retreat? Are things back to normal? No, they're not. I have almost completely cut meat out of my diet, which is fucking insane to say. I haven't had red meat or like pork in the last month more than 5 times, maybe. And that's if we were in a hurry and like I just needed to get something in and like, you know what I mean?
You used to be a burger every other day kind of guy, and you haven't had a burger in a month.
At least we did when we came back from the retreat. Remember, we had it on like a Tuesday or Wednesday. And
it was that Sunday when we got home. We had 5 Guys,
2 or 3 bites, and it threw it in the trash. Yeah, which is unlike me because I love their burgers. Like there's like the right amount of jalapeno and cheese on those things. It's great. And then the caffeine thing has still not happened. I'm still not drinking soda. I have fucking pink lemonade from
orange,
peach.
Oh, is that peach?
Peach lemonade. Yep.
Tasted orange.
You gonna taste it again?
No.
But I've been drinking lemonade and I've been doing sugar-free lemonade. But I think that because we're going back to ceremony in a week and a half after this weekend, I'm just going to drink water.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drink because I don't know what's in those drinks. You know what I mean? Stevia is a natural sweetener, but I don't know what else is in them. So Hater Triple X for $20 said, thank you for helping me and my wives communicate through a very hard time in our lives. You have helped us more than you could know. One day we would love to meet you and shake your hands. You do amazing work for people. Well, just share the content. That's the best thing that you can do. Sending the super chat's fucking great. I love that. Thank you. But share the content. Put this shit on all of your social media platforms. Share our clips. Make sure that people see the content. That's going to be the greatest way to thank us. And then obviously if you meet us, I'll gladly shake your hand. But what's up with the music video? Any news? He said that it would take up to 6 weeks for that, and we filmed that in March, at the very beginning of March, right?
I have no idea.
So it probably
time is a fickle thing.
Probably drop in the middle of May. I'm thinking. I'll actually reach out to him today and text him and see what he says.
Okay.
Scrolling down to the bottom. Do you do the ceremonies in Florida or is it the Midwest? The ones that we are doing is in Florida because it's close to us. There's a lot of churches now that are doing ayahuasca ceremonies throughout the U.S. I've had a lot of people sending me places that are near them for me to check them out and see what I think about them. And to make things quick and easy, if you guys are looking into doing ceremonies, just make sure that their integration is included with what you're doing, and that you're not just going to be fucking paying to go and do some stuff and that's it. Like you want to make sure that there's a whole lot of integration and a whole lot of prep work. And if you can get therapy before you go, like there's a lot that goes into all of that. So Abby said that meet and greet was the last weekend in February. So yeah, because we did it the day before we left. Tiffany Harris said, music video, what song? For cuffing season, the guy that does the intro for our podcast, we bought the rights to his music for the beginning for that song to use on social media and on our podcast. But when he got ready to record the music video, I was like, bro, like we're using this shit on our podcast. You should put us in the video. And he's like, absolutely. Come on.
Yeah.
So we did. My TikTok FYP kept showing me retreats, LOL. There's an Aya Church retreat in Wetumpka, Alabama, which is only 2 hours from where we live. Lexi said counseling before marriage should be a requirement for sure. I agree. All right, hotness. Let's jump into my book and then let's do the Q&A thing. We said we were going to read some of my book. You want to grab a chapter of that and maybe promote some book sales?
I'm going to go use the bathroom first.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to keep the chat entertained then because that's what we're doing. Oh, look, there's a sign right there that tells you about the retreats. Bam, look at that. Trips, pods, music videos, writing books, doing gardening, and making soaps and stuff from it all. Y'all are doing so much good for you both. Andy said you guys are truly amazing. You're supposed to be on your bed, Bubba. Get back on your bed. I didn't tell you could get off there. Park. Good boy. Now come here. Love your intro. Thank you for that. 273 people watching, only 51 likes. Come on, guys. Like the video. Do y'all know when the video will be released? We don't. We were told it'd be 6 weeks from the time that it was edited, like that it was recorded for them to edit and get it to him. I'll get with him and then I'll make a post later today on Instagram. I'll put it in the story as when he thinks that it'll be live. Hey, dude. Really, dude? All right. Flat. You just knocked over my sign. You just knocked over my sign. You just embarrassed me in front of all my friends, Bubba. It's not cool. My dad lives 8 minutes from there. Have you tried applying? Okay. How's your day been going? My day's actually been going really good. I've been having a really, really good mood. Good day. We've been had a lot going on. Things have been falling into place for us lately, which is really nice. Can I bring my lion's mane to Greece? I would assume so. I can't imagine that it would be illegal there. It's it's just a normal neurotropic type mushroom. It's brain function. Lexi said, loving the book, Chris. I got it back from my husband finally. LOL. I think he liked it and seen loads of adjustments on his side. That's awesome. Going to read some of your book while I'm waiting for my concert tonight, but have loved it so much from what I've read. That's awesome. Chris, what are the best recording camera for podcasting? The one that you know how to use. Somebody asked how Bane is doing. Bane is good. He's a good boy. He's wagging his tail because he knows I'm talking about him. Zach said, why can't noses get too big? Because 12 inches is the foot. But I'm part of the Ultimate Patreon. Where can I find the intro to Peach's book? It will be on one of the After Darks. It will be the last After Dark that we did, I believe. Where can I buy your book? Amazon.com. And our website if you want a signed copy, tobebetter.com. I know you all have a lot of videos to make and all of that, but I just wanted to suggest a video on adoption. I think it would be great, and I know I would definitely benefit from something like that. Well, we would need somebody to write in about that for us to have an opinion on it, because otherwise we would have to do a whole lot of research and sit down and just randomly fire off the hip at some shit and hope that it sticks for people. What mixer do you use for your cameras? I don't use mixers for my camera. I use an SD card and I pop it out of the camera and I put it in Premiere and then I edit it. Do you guys ever consider coming to New Zealand? I would love to come to New Zealand. Man, that would be amazing. What you doing over there, hotness? Looking
Finding
for a
the
chapter?
chapter.
Which chapter are you going to read?
How do you define success?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That was one of my favorite chapters.
Yeah? She finished my book yesterday, guys, and she told me she was proud of me and I cried.
And my husband took a 4-hour nap and I read his whole book.
Yeah. I was fucking out, dude. I don't know what happened yesterday. I laid down. I was in so much pain after getting your windows tinted that like I laid down on the couch and instantly I was out. Yep.
You have to change the camera.
Oh. I was like, what are we doing? You're staring at the thing. What are we doing? Are we staring at something? Are you waiting?
I don't
like,
know.
are you getting ready to
happening.
jump in? Are you going to say something to somebody? What's happening? What's happening? I was waiting. I just didn't push the camera button, guys.
I too was wondering what was happening.
Yeah, it happened.
Okay. Are we just going to get into it?
Sure.
Chapter 5, Success. How do you define success? What does success look like to you? Can you define it right now with 0 prompts? Most people define success in different ways. For some, it's having money, a paying job, or a career. It might be owning a big house, driving a new car, or even finally buying their dream car. This one isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Not me talking about my dream car.
Yeah. Others see success as being married, being a good parent, or putting their kids through college. Some might say it's all of the above. For me, success is simple. It's waking up in the morning without the weight of despair, without wanting to end it all. It's going to bed at night knowing I owned the day, that my time wasn't squandered. Success is seeing my kids learn new things, hearing them laugh, and watching them revel in the carefree joy of childhood. At the end of the day, when my wife lays her head on my chest and says, "This is my favorite part of the day," or "This is what I was looking forward to the most," I know I've succeeded. Whether we talk, watch TV, or share moments of intimacy, those quiet times together solidify what matters most to me. Even if she falls asleep on my chest, when she wakes up to roll over, I get a kiss and "I love you." I never go to bed without that connection, that love. It's a cornerstone of my life. That made me cry yesterday.
It just made me cry just now. Fuck, dude. I know that I said that I wanted to become more emotional when we went to the Aya retreat, but I was not prepared for how emotional I would become.
Yeah.
We recorded the episode for Voice of the Broken last night that drops tonight at 7 p.m. And like I was able to talk through my tears last night.
That's good.
Yeah, which is not
what you've wanted.
I know. I think that I cried enough at that ceremony that all that shit that I've been holding back for so long is not there anymore, and I don't have to worry about not being able to like reel myself back in, you know?
I love that for you.
I'm glad that you went with me and got to experience all of that. I'm really glad that we didn't separate ourselves.
Me too.
Before you pick that back up, we had a super chat from Cerulean Firefly. I hope life is doing very well for you. We haven't seen you in a while. She said, haven't sent in a super in a long time, but still watching and lurking in Discord. Just bought your sign book. Can't wait to start reading. Thank you both for all you do. I need to be better and y'all help with your work. I need to be better and y'all help with your work. Thanks.
Thank you for still being here.
Oh, wow. We got another.
Holy shit.
This is a big one. From Stormy Seas. That name cracks me up every time.
Yeah.
My son, 11, has anxiety. Ex's wife's son, 11, has ADHD, is aggressive, yells and blames others for dysregulation. Son feels unsafe. Do I stop him going? I don't know anything that happens in the house. I trust dad to a point, but he can be a pushover. So you know your life way better than we do. What do you have to say about that? Because I think we're going to be on the same page, but what do you have to say about that?
So there's a difference between feeling unsafe and actually being unsafe. So so you have a son who's 11 and an ex-wife's son who is also 11. So I'm assuming that they're stepbrothers. This could be, right? So let's just say that he's not physically in danger. He just doesn't like what's happening and he doesn't want to be in that environment. This could be an opportunity to show him what compassion looks like, to help him understand that, okay, so the stepbrother has ADHD. I tell the children all the time, right? They come home and say things about what kids are doing in their class or what happened at the playground.
Right.
And I have to explain to them that, do you know how you come home and Pops and I are excited to see you and we ask you how your day went and we cuddle on the couch and we cook dinner together and all these kinds of things. And they're like, yeah, mommy, we love doing that. I'm like, not every kid gets to go home and do that.
Right.
And it helps give them perspective of your life isn't the only life that's being led right now. And there is this girl in our son's class who is just nasty to everybody. And I genuinely feel bad for her. And I have tried to explain to our son that you don't have to tolerate the things that she does to you. Like, if she's being mean, you don't have to play with her on the playground.
Right.
If she's lashing out or she's making fun of you or she's making you feel bad about yourself, you don't have to talk to her. It's important to still be nice to her, though. You're not going to retaliate or match that energy. An eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind.
Right.
I've tried to explain to the children that there can be love lacking in other children's lives, and sometimes you can be the love that supplements that. So that could be a conversation with the 11-year-old. Now, if he is in physical danger. Like if this stepbrother is actually throwing things or trying to hit people, and that's the kind of dysfunction or dysregulation that's happening, I 100% would not be sending that child back over there.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference between feeling like I'm in danger and actually being in danger. But
Yeah.
there's also a thing about letting boys be boys. 11 years old, they need to fight. I know that's people are gonna be like, I can't believe you just said that. You do. You need to let them go, and they need the pecking order. And it doesn't need to happen all the time. We're not talking about bullying, but like maybe the son who has anxiety needs to defend himself and beat the shit out of the 11-year-old who's being the bully.
Yeah.
To make the bullying stop, there needs to be a pecking order. And if the parent is the one that steps in and the bully gets away with being a bully, and the one who is not defending himself is always the one being bullied, the pecking order is the parent, the bully, and then the other kid.
Yeah.
So like there's a whole lot that goes into that. In the same breath of all of that, if one of our kids ever came to us and said, I don't feel like I'm safe there, you're not going. You can fucking call the cops, the other parent, the other whoever, call them. You can take me to jail.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fucking sending my kids somewhere where they told me that they don't feel safe. And that's, but again, we get a very small pinprick of what you guys send in
Right.
to diagnose or to give an opinion over your entire life. And I think all of that really factors in on how you should deal with those situations. We got a $4 super chat from Nicholas with no text. Then another one from Lilith. I have been away for a while, but happy to be finally moved into our own home. First time homeowners in my 50s.
Congratulations.
It's never too late to level up. Thanks to you both and Danny for the encouragement.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, guys. You can reinvent yourself at any fucking age. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Let's go back to my book, please, so that we can actually then focus on the chat.
If God were to punch my ticket in the middle of the night, there would be no question in my wife's heart that she was loved. My kids would know that I love them deeply and will carry with them the values I worked so hard to instill. And I believe they will be the kind of adults that I hope they'd become. I take comfort knowing that life would go on, and we have enough people in our corner that my wife would be cared for, my kids would be secure, and the podcast would continue. Peaches would still have financial freedom, and my legacy would be one of love and purpose. This to me is success. One last aspect of my success is freedom. Financial freedom isn't about hoarding wealth or chasing material possessions, though I do like my toys. It's about having the ability to live life on your own terms. Broke things happen to broke people, and I refuse to let life's curveballs derail us. If my engine blew up, a flat tire stranded us, or a transmission failed, or even if our house burned down, a hurricane hit, or we lost a business or two, we'd pick up and keep moving. By the end of the day, no matter what bed we lay down in, the night would end the same way as above, together, with love, and with peace that comes from knowing we're building a life we cherish. Make no mistake, our bedtime setup isn't habitual. It's something we work towards and look forward to. Don't allow the things you love in life to simply become a habit. Having money isn't the goal. Money is a tool, one that allows you to create the life you want to live. Whether that means being a nomad in a van, working odd jobs to sustain a dream, or living more traditionally, financial freedom gives you choices. But the key is still earning, still building the life that fulfills you. Success isn't about chasing a dollar, it's about living your dream. It's about finding fulfillment, creating memories, and going to bed at night satisfied, knowing you gave your all to the things and the people that matter the most. To me, that is true success. So how do you define success? Take a minute to answer that. Write it down, not digitally, physically. I'm going to leave a page blank so you can write it in this book. This is what I think about every time I think about what defines success. It's a reminder I carry with me daily, etched into my thoughts. There was a time in my life when I woke up every morning pissed off that I hadn't died in my sleep. I didn't want to exist. I wasn't in a place where I felt bad enough. I wasn't in a place where I felt bad enough to take my own life. Fear of hell had a huge part in that, and so did the fear of failing the attempt, somehow making my already miserable existence even worse. Looking back now, I see it for what it was, cowardice. But you know what? That was the best time to be a coward because at least it kept me alive. Yet the life I was living, if you could even call it that, was barely a life at all. I was broken, unmotivated, a failure of a man. I had no ambition, no drive, and I let my depression and hopelessness dictate my every move. The people around me didn't get a whole person. They got a shadow, a shell of someone who had given up. So many people are stuck in that cycle. You hear them say things like, I'm going to die anyway, or I didn't ask to be born, or life's not fair. These aren't just words, they're excuses. Excuses to justify the fact that they've given up. And I truly believe they have. This kind of mindset is a self-fulfilling prophecy. All that negativity is being spoken into existence. It locks you in a prison of your own making. What's worse, the people around them likely are doing the same thing, creating echo chambers of misery and defeat. That kind of environment is suffocating, and escaping it is no small feat. When someone does manage to break free, those same negative people often turn on them. They go from being accepting or indifferent to outright resentful. Why? Because you did something they are choosing not to. You found a reason to keep going, to believe in yourself. You made a choice, and that terrifies them. Your relationship with others is a reflection of how you see yourself. If you treat yourself poorly, then you will also unconsciously seek out and tolerate others who treat you poorly. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. If you're stuck in this endless cycle of despair, you have to ask yourself one question. What are you going to do about it? And if your answer is something like, what can I do? Then you haven't been paying attention. You aren't listening. You're not learning or applying anything. You wasted your money, and you're wasting your time, and maybe even someone else's. It has been 30 hours since I finished the last chapter. I had no idea how I was going to approach the topic of success. My only goal for this chapter was to make you put an honest thought on how you define the word, what it looks like to you. Over the past 30 hours, I've been reflecting deeply on this. Over the last 30 hours, someone I know killed himself. When I got the call, I wasn't shocked, not even close. In fact, my first thought was, I'm surprised it took this long. Let that sink in. A young man, a human being, ended his life, and my immediate reaction wasn't sorrow or grief. It wasn't, I'm sorry for your loss, or even, damn, I'm going to miss him. It was, I'm surprised that it hadn't happened sooner. I wasn't close to him. We hadn't spoken in nearly a decade. He wasn't a friend, just someone I knew. And if I'm being honest, I made a conscious choice to keep him out of my life. I didn't integrate him into my social circles or my world because I knew deep down that he would poison the well. His mindset, his choices, his entire energy, none of that is aligned with the life I was trying to build. That might sound harsh, but sometimes survival requires hard decisions. I learned that we can't save everyone, no matter how much we want to. People have to want to save themselves first, and until they do, the only thing we can do is focus on our own growth and protect our own peace. Before moving forward, I want to touch on something important. I'll start with a religious perspective and then reframe it for those who don't hold to any faith. From a religious standpoint, there are countless moments in the Bible where the power of words is undeniable. He spoke it, and it was. He spoke it, and it was done. God created life itself through his word. Just want to pause right there because it's wild that people are like, oh my God, witchcraft. She likes crystals. She's a fucking Satanist. Lord out here using magic words to create things.
Yeah. Real quick before you pick that up, I don't want this super chat to go away. This came from Nicholas for $20. It says, first time watching the live. My girlfriend Elena introduced me to y'all. I ended up buying your book and I have loved it so far. Y'all have been amazing for our relationship. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. It means a lot. I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you guys are interested in buying the book, you can buy it from tobebetter.com. And you'll get a signed copy, or you can go to amazon.com and search. Well, it's in the link. It's in the link of the video if you're on YouTube. But it's No One's Coming to Save You by Christopher Burkett. When she's done getting her boogies. How much is left of that? You want to wrap up on that and just go into other things, or
That's up to you.
I'm good with it. Our numbers have
Okay.
dropped. People they don't want to hear you read my book. Apparently, we went from almost 400 people watching on YouTube down to like 200. It's back up to like 270, but people were dropping while you were reading. So I'm going to take that as a sign that we're not interesting enough in the book aspect, and people want to hear us talk in the comments. So we're going to read comments, I guess.
Okay. Have a good day, Lorna.
Yep. Have a good day, Lorna. Can't wait to see you in Greece.
Oh my gosh.
Amanda said after live, I'm ordering the book. Buying a signed copy for my husband. Beautifully written. Finally caught you guys live. I absolutely love you guys. I have a question. Who comes first, your partner, children, or parents? What's your opinion of the right order? So we've actually done a lot of content about this. This has been an ongoing thing, and we have a whole ass video dropping at some point in the next 2 months about this.
There's a hierarchy in everything in life.
Yeah.
If you look at any species outside of human beings, there's a hierarchy. So within humans, I believe it's the partner, and then the children, and then anybody I deem to be important enough to be outside of that.
I agree.
Your husband, your wife, your children are your family. Anyone beyond that is extended family.
Right. So yeah, and I'm the same way. It's partner first, then children. And I believe it should be partner as a whole, like the two of you living as one flesh. And that doesn't mean that you put your partner above you or you above your partner. You guys live equally. And if the house is burning down and I can only save one person, I'm going to save you. And then we are going to try to get the kids. Right? Like that's the way it's going to go, because what if I get fucked up on the way out? I have another person now that can go and help me do the thing.
Right.
So it really just comes down to a whole lot of perspective on things. People who live in that, well, my kids will always come first when meeting a new person, it's toxic. We have a whole ass episode coming out about this, I promise. Somebody said, how do I get a signed copy of the book? Go to tobebetter.com and click on the book. You can also find it on Amazon. Somebody said, Katie Lee said, you keep scrolling in my pocket at work, but I'm still here. I watch every Wednesday on Facebook, but I don't do the others. The book is very interesting. I've caught myself tearing up with Peaches on a couple of spots. Thank you for that. Beth Ann said, what about being destroyed by the partner? Then you're fighting for your kids and fall back on your family. That's a hard question. It's not a hard question. If your partner is destroying you, that's not your partner.
Right. You need to move on from that.
Right. Right.
Larry popped in and said the Democrats are corrupt. I'm telling you, humanity's corrupt.
Politicians are corrupt.
Yeah.
You guys dick riding your political party is insane to me.
Right. Like they're not two arms on the same monster.
Right. They're all fucking corrupt. How many signed copies are left? We buy them 50 at a time. There's probably 25 or 30 of them still on the website. I just logged in. Your true wisdom has saved me and helped me realize my true self through your reflection. I left my ex from DV. I love your insight and honesty. I'm glad that you're fucking safe.
Good for you. I can't wait to see what you do with your life now that you're not shackled.
Vanessa made a really good point and said, if you're in a healthy relationship, it should never come down to your kids coming first. You should always be whole. I agree with that. But there's going to be situations where your kids are going to have to be prioritized. And that doesn't mean that you're putting your kids above your partner. It means that in that situation, there's emergencies happening and life needs to be saved, or whatever the case may be.
Right. When you're on a plane, you put your own mask on before you help your kids.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Rachel for a $5 super chat said, just bought the book and can't wait. I love the emotional moments. I always cry with you, Peach. Love you guys so much. Have a blessed day. Thank you for buying the book.
Thank you.
If you guys are doing the signed copy from the website, you will get stickers. We send stickers with all the signed copies. Julie said that made me cry. You guys are amazing.
Thank you for that. Hopefully good tears.
Yeah. Natasha said, love the podcast. Married my high school sweetheart last year. Been together 12 years this month. We love listening together. That's awesome.
That's
congratulations.
Beautiful.
Love the plane analogy. 25 signed books left. Yeah, he's going on payroll.
Yeah. Dude's on it.
Yeah. Send Chris, make a note because I don't want to write it down right now.
Do it right now.
Yeah.
Send my husband your PayPal information, please.
Yep. Joey said, having escaped a toxic marriage, your guys' advice about what partners should be is spot on. Where'd it go? I have an amazing partner now. I love that.
Good for you.
That's actually my entire next book is going to be healing from a divorce or an ugly breakup and finding yourselves again. What was that?
There's one strand of hair that's sticking out and it's bothering me.
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
I love your new look.
Yeah.
I fucking love your new look. I know I told you that probably 4 times yesterday.
Yeah.
Coming back from ceremony in the last month of our life has changed so much about everything in our life. And watching you go from being the black dress, very dark colored dress person to being like this fucking earth tone loving,
Yeah.
like wearing sandals with like stones in them and shit. Like, I love it. I love watching you become something more. It's like watching a flower opening.
Thank you. You hyping me up the way you do has made it easier.
Yeah. You look so fucking good. Yeah. Oh, we have to remember to sew those pants before ceremony.
I was planning on doing that today.
Okay.
I need to set up my sewing machine.
Casey said, my girlfriend started listening to y'all finally, and I love it. You have helped us so much. It's crazy. You've answered so many of our relationship issues.
I love that.
It's awesome. Tiffany said, I want to go to Greece, but my man doesn't. Would it be weird if I came alone? Absolutely not.
It might be weird for your guys' relationship. I don't know how that's going to play out if you go without him.
I mean,
I think that should be a conversation, but
yeah, absolutely.
We're not going to judge you.
There were people in Thailand that showed up by themselves.
Yeah.
That were in relationships and were like sending pictures of them fucking talking to their person and shit the whole time we were there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything weird about it at all. Sometimes finances don't dictate that.
Right.
And if you had something that you really wanted to do and I really wanted to do it and I wasn't able to go, like I could still make it happen for you, I'm gonna sit this one out, babe.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you go live your life and I want to see all those pictures and I want to hear all about it when you get home. Like I will carve out that time to sit down and listen to your entire trip, and we can Zoom and FaceTime, and you can tell me about your day. And I don't give a shit if there's a time difference. I can get up at 3:00 in the morning for an hour phone call. Like,
yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like I really, I don't know, the idea of being bitter or salty about your person going and living a thing like that without you is kind of it's foolish to me.
I think it's selfish.
It can be. It can be. And don't get me wrong, it would suck, especially if it was somewhere I really wanted to go.
Right.
But I would rather you go and live that experience than neither of us go and live that experience. You know what I mean? And like,
I get that.
That can speak to provision too. Like I may not be able to provide the life for us to do all the things that we want to do, but if I could send you on that trip, that's a fucking huge chalk mark for me as a provider. Like, yeah.
I get that. If there was something that involved like Polynesian culture, I would sit that one out if only one of us could go, because you are far more into that than I am.
Yep. Spooky said, all right, I had to buy the book. Ready to read it, y'all. Spooky is in the house, guys.
Can't wait to hear your opinion about it.
I saw RJ said something earlier too, but the chat was moving too quick. I didn't catch it. Kiana said, would you guys ever do one-on-one sessions for guidance purposes? We've talked about it. We want to start doing live calls on Patreon and on our ultimate tier. It would be nice to do, because there's people out there that need help that can't afford to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a coach, but they can afford a $200 phone call. You know what I mean? So, somebody asked if we were going to record the seminars for Patreon in Florida, North Carolina, Costa Rica, like we did for Thailand. So Costa Rica, probably not. Florida and North Carolina will most likely be recorded on Saturday only. Like we won't record the dinner, but all the things that we discuss on Saturday will probably be recorded, because that would be a very big value to the people who are already part of our Patreon to see that kind of thing. And it would twofold also help us sell seminars in the future. So it makes sense to do that. But as for Costa Rica, I don't know. Things got very personal in Thailand. And like, I don't know how the second one, especially first one, we posted that. It was really shitty audio, really shitty video quality, because we recorded the whole thing on a GoPro. Because we were in Thailand. Obviously we're not trying to bring our whole podcast set up, but we'll see. Reball just sent a super chat that said, if this doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. Peach, is that a fruit blossom and waters other fruit? I'm sorry. Peach is a fruit that blossoms and waters other fruit. Chris waters peach, which makes you blossom together. Neither one can do what you want to do without each other. I agree with that.
That makes sense.
I agree with that.
Toasted Tyrion, Tot. Peach, how old were your kiddos when you left them overnight with someone else outside of their dad? My baby is 1.5 years old, and she hasn't been away from me for more than 10 hours before. So my circumstances were, I mean, everybody has different circumstances. I got pregnant 6 months after having my son. And that's with my ex-husband. For everyone who doesn't know, Chris is a stepfather to my kids.
Bonus dad.
And yeah, 6, 7, 8 months old. Our son was spending the night with grandma overnight, Friday night, Saturday night. She would even come over and help clean the house and whatnot. She's a fantastic woman. I had a very hard third pregnancy with our daughter. I couldn't even keep water down. I had to go to the hospital once a week to get IV lines to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
So I was useless as a human being during my second pregnancy. I also know her character as a person.
Right.
I don't believe that she would be neglecting the baby in the middle of the night if there was a feeding or something happening. She had proven herself to be a very attentive, loving grandmother and continues to be.
Yeah, there's something different to be said about leaving it with your tribe and leaving it with a babysitter.
Right.
You know? That's twice our signs has been knocked over. Dickhead did it to me earlier. I was over here. He knocked my shit flat off the thing.
I could feel my hair touching my back a certain way.
Yeah, your hair is getting long.
It really
It's long.
Getting stuck in my armpit sometimes, and the whole.
I put my hands around your lower back yesterday and felt something touch my hand. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Thought it was a bug.
And I was like, "I can touch your hair."
Yeah.
Yeah. Michaela said, "Husband wants me to go to Guatemala alone with our son to visit his family. I've never left the country before. Advise."
I would not.
I would not either.
Guatemala is one of those countries that I've heard to be less safe, especially if you're a woman. I'm not trying to travel by myself with a child in a country that I don't know that I'm navigating. Now, if I'm flying into the airport and there's like 4 men of his family waiting for me, that's a different story.
Yeah. Do you know his family?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right. Like there's a whole lot of, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
If it's his family that she's going to meet,
Mm-hmm.
why doesn't his family come to you guys?
Yeah.
A little at a time versus you going somewhere where it's dangerous. I'm sure that they would have a much better time here.
Yeah.
Than her going there.
It could be harder for them to travel here.
Could be.
Guatemala is not a wealthy country from my understanding.
No.
So I know a lot of people who came here to make money to send back to their families in Guatemala.
Yeah. The guy that does our window tint just got back from Guatemala. He was there fishing. He literally came back 2 days ago. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't send you away to another country to meet my family without me going. Like it's awkward meeting somebody's family anyways. To just go and not know like the rules and have the language barrier possibly and all of that. Like no, I'm good. I'm good. There's even if there was a really valid reason for him not going, I can't do it.
Tamara said never travel alone. Nope. I disagree with that. We've had a lot of women travel by themselves, specifically to Thailand. Off the top of my head, I can think of 5 women who traveled internationally by themselves, and they at no point did they feel unsafe. Did they feel like something was going to happen? Lorna specifically said that she has panic attacks.
Yeah. And
she didn't have a single one while traveling. So I think traveling alone is a very okay thing to do, but you need to do a lot of research on where you're going. Are you going to be safe where you're going?
Right.
Especially as a woman.
Right. Flying from airport to airport to airport.
Yeah.
And then getting to your destination where you know people. Probably a whole lot safer than just fucking randomly going somewhere by yourself and just hoping for the best.
Yeah. You remember that chick who did like cross country on an adventure bike in India?
Yeah.
Terrifies me.
That chick, her name is, oh man, she's got such a huge YouTube following.
She does.
She's got millions of followers, and that's all she does is ride her adventure bike through other countries.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is her name?
She's a blonde, I think.
She is. We were subscribed to her channel for a year. Anyways, that kind of shit is wild. Like it takes some balls to do that. I don't think I would be willing to do that. However, I do agree that it should be on every man's bucket list to travel somewhere alone. Mm-hmm. I've only got to do that once in my life, and COVID hit, and I had to come home.
Yeah.
So, But there is something about striking it out on your own where you don't know anyone, to go do the thing that you want to do, to find the things that you enjoy. And who knows, you may go and just stay in your hotel room the entire fucking time because you just need a break. You don't know. You don't know what you're going to do until you're there. You know what I mean?
Well, now I'm curious. If you were to travel by yourself somewhere now, where would you go?
Oh, that's a great question. Anywhere?
Yeah, anywhere.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to experience my life without you in it.
Okay, well, we can make a second trip back after you get the layout of the land.
That's fucking hard. Probably Bali.
Yeah.
I would like to go to Indonesia. But I gotta be honest, the idea of doing that without you there, even though that's like a bucket list item for me, just is enjoyable. Like,
Yeah.
and I was trying to think of cool things to do. Like, I would love to go back to Hawaii or to New Zealand, but like, we're both nerds, and being able to see where Lord of the Rings was filmed, like, I wouldn't want to experience that without you. Like, I don't know. Even getting tattooed in Thailand, like, that was a thing for us. Like,
oh gosh, yeah, that was an amazing experience.
I just don't want to. I don't want to. This life is enriched because you're in it.
Yeah.
And it would be very bland. Like, it would be eating prison food without you. I don't want to do that ever again. So I don't think that I would do it. I just don't think I would do it now. I think that I would try to kill myself to make sure that we could go, or I would do a lesser trip. Super chat. Again, I've never met his family. Same person. I've never met his family in person, only over FaceTime. Neither her has our son. Neither has our son.
I think so.
They don't speak English, and some only know their dialect.
I know very little Spanish.
I wouldn't go. Itchy Boots.
Yeah.
That's the YouTuber. Itchy Boots.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Good call.
Yeah, I would not be traveling to Guatemala by myself with my child.
Yeah. Danielle said, Peaches and Chris, I hope to be on the 2026 trip. Please continue to do these trips. I will be on one. Love you guys. Got plenty of time for Greece. A little behind, but maybe views dropped during the book because they were purchasing it. Positive views, Mr. Chris. Thank you for that. I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
That could be a thing.
It did bounce back up while you were reading. Damn. Thank you, Carly. Thank you for that.
That's a good perspective.
It was, and I kind of needed that because I was feeling a little beat down over my book. So thank you for that. Somebody's dreaming right now.
Oh, I saw a video the other night of a horse dreaming, and he was galloping in his sleep. Yeah. I think it's so cute to watch animals sleep, and they have their little dreams.
Abby said, I'm still hoping y'all do Ireland or Italy, LOL. Ireland will probably happen. Italy, I mean, they'll probably both happen. We plan on doing this for a long time, guys. Peaches and I are very happy with our career right now. Like,
oh, gosh, yeah.
We're happy with the community. We love what we do. Like, life is very fulfilling to us. It's not just a job. And as long as it doesn't become just a job and we don't become resentful and hate what we do, we'll continue doing this shit. Like, she said he can't come with us right now as he's going through steps for citizenship, but can't go and come back. Then I would just wait.
Yeah, that's something that needs to happen in the future.
Jesse said, can you guys touch on knee-jerk reactions? I'm currently in therapy for diagnosed bipolar disorder, and I'm struggling with stopping my knee-jerk reaction of being /sounding defensive, and it's causing problems in my relationship. I feel like I'm making progress, and it's still happening more often than not. Any tips, please, and thank you. If you know that it's happening, you can stop after it's happened.
And apologize.
Immediately.
Yeah. I think there also needs to be understanding on grace on the other, like on the receiving end of that, of the knee-jerk reaction.
If change is happening, yes.
Right. So if you're acknowledging the behavior, you're apologizing when it happens, and then say, right, because it's easy to say and do these things when you're not in a heightened emotional state.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When you are both emotionally elevated and say, oh gosh, I don't know, some chick walked up, hit on your boyfriend in front of you, and gave him her phone number, and he accepted it. Didn't say no, thank you. My girl's standing right here. Fuck off. Whatever. And then that created a moment between the two of you. It's going to be a lot harder to reel back in that knee jerk,
right,
wanting to be shitty. So there needs to be grace and understanding on the receiving end of that. So if you say something out of the side of your neck, an appropriate response would be, whoa, babe, we're just having a conversation. Or I can tell what just happened really upset you. I'm not trying to argue with you right now. Something to de-escalate the moment versus adding fuel to the fire. Some things that I do for my knee-jerk reaction is I just sit there quietly for a second. If I feel my crazy coming up and I'm like, no, this is my husband. He doesn't deserve this. I just sit there in silence for a minute. Last night, we were having a conversation and my mood shifted. And not in a negative way. We were having a conversation. I was just caught off guard by something. So I'm like running on dial-up. I have to process what just happened because my reality is now changing. And we were talking about something, and then something else came up, and something about the podcast happens, and I got a little bit frustrated. And I was trying to talk about what was going on, and you sat down, and I was just looking at you, and you're like, oh God, the death stare. And I'm like, I'm not death staring you. I didn't even realize I was looking at you. But that was me trying to compute everything that was happening while simultaneously trying to generate a response while also holding back my knee-jerk reaction of things. So sitting in silence for a moment's okay.
Yeah. Take a breath.
Yeah.
Your knee-jerk reaction is always going to do you a disservice.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. It could be business, it could be friendship, it could be relationship. Your knee-jerk reaction to a thing is almost always going to be at your detriment. Fucking pause.
Mm-hmm.
It is okay to take a second, rethink about what you want to say and go. And in the event that you need your knee-jerk reaction, say, okay, that was the knee-jerk reaction that I'm working on. I realize that I just did that. I'm really fucking sorry. Blah, 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 blah. Can we start over?
Yeah.
And then work through that shit. I'm not going to read this chat, but somebody just said that we should look into something political, guys. I know that people think that we are a political based platform to a degree because I've seen the negative comments of it. Peaches and I are very center line on a lot of things. So I'm not gonna like dick ride a party or talk about politics. Like that's not something that I'm even comfortable doing. And after our ceremony, like I don't do the politic thing.
Right.
And like I did it. I was always involved. Like if something was on one news channel, I'd go to the other one and see what the other side is saying to try to figure out what's actually happening. And I don't do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
So
there are people out there who have made their careers talking about politics, like Candace Owens and Tim Pool, who have much larger platforms than we do.
Right.
Us talking about politics, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't here to hear us talk about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or what the Senate of Wisconsin's doing.
Right. Oh man, Chris, how long does it take for a young man to become a man? I think that depends on the young man's situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are going to be people out there who are in hard situations that are going to have to grow up a whole lot faster than others. And I don't think that's a one size fits all thing. I will say that I think that there needs to be a rite of passage into adulthood. And I think that all men should have to go through it. And I think that it should be a series of things, not just go to war.
One and done, yeah.
Right? Like it should start at like when they're 10 or 11, right? Like in my head, maybe I take little man camping. We go to the mountains and we stay in the glamp. We'll live in the rooftop tent on the Bronco for a weekend. And like, I'll teach him how to start a fire, and then I'll put the fire out and be like, now make the fire. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I can't do it. I'm like, well, then we're not eating. And I'll fucking starve all the way. I got some extra. I have insulation built into me, motherfucker. Like I got some something in here.
Right.
I'll eat some Burger King on the way up the mountain.
Yeah.
But if we don't get this fire started, we're not eating tonight, bro. Mm-hmm. Like you have to learn how to do this, and that'll be a rite of passage for him. Now he knows how to start a fire. Then maybe next year after that, take him fishing and teach him how to fish. Teach him how to make spears and gig frogs and like do the whole thing so that he understands what he's doing. And all of those little rites of passages is what makes him a man. And I think that there should be trinkets given.
Oh, I agree.
Like a Boy Scout badge almost, but like on the hunting trip, you give him a knife or like a BB gun, right? Something to like signify that he's earned that.
Yeah.
Maybe the fire thing, you get him a really cool Zippo lighter that he can show off to his kids. This, grandpa gave this to me and now it's, whatever. Yeah. Right? Like, Yep.
Darby said, I hopped off the live to buy it. I wanted it for a while and finally did.
Oh, thank you for that. Iggy said, I truly believe a grateful heart is a magnet for blessings. I believe that too. Oh. Casey said, do y'all still tattoo or pierce? That's coming.
I don't pierce anymore. I like my long nails.
Yeah.
I can change out my own jewelry. I have no problem putting my dragon claws into my nostrils to fix my septum ring, but I don't think the average client would appreciate that in their nostril.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But the tattooing it's a work in progress.
Zach said goodbye. He had to leave.
Toodles. I hope you have a good day.
Carrington said, my husband is also from Guatemala, but was born in the U.S. He said the police have heavy-duty weapons at the gas stations because of frequent robberies. Yeah, I'm not sending my family anywhere that's not safe, guys.
Not doing that.
I'm super chat from Sinzizzle. I'm incredibly grateful for the knowledge I've gained from your podcast. There are still many things I learned from each episode. Peach's women's group have taught me how to be a softer woman and open up. That softer woman shit is so important. You want to plug your women's group because you have 3 spots available as of right now.
I do. So I'm just gonna this thing that I knocked off the table earlier. I have to get it perfect. There we are. I have 3 spots available in my Sacred Sisterhood group, and I have about 20 spots available in my Women's Thrive group.
I really like that Sacred Sisterhood name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. You did really good with that.
Thank you. Both groups offer a lot. I've added so many things to these groups, even with the Women's Thrive group. Some things that the groups get, my top tier, the Sacred Sisterhood, gets weekly book challenges, monthly book prescriptions. We get 4 calls a month. And then there are monthly mini challenges. The Women's Thrive group gets 2 group calls a month, a monthly book prescription, a once a month in-depth book challenge, and then there are also mini monthly challenges, along with private community access within the Discord, separate from everything else.
Yep.
Oh, and my Sacred Sisterhood, the women who are part of that group do have the ability to private DM me for problem solving your guys' life. You want to share any wins, maybe gain perspective away from the group. That is an option.
You know, that celebrating the win thing is really huge, especially for people who have bitter motherfuckers around them. Because when you don't have somebody that you can talk to about your wins, like, you get super excited. You should be celebrating your victory and you have no one to tell about it. Like, it feels really fucking bad when you have this. You got a new raise. You're making 6 figures a year now, and it's the first person that you've known in your family to make that kind of money. And you go to them and like, oh, it must be nice. Like, it changes that entire thing. It makes it taste like ash, right? Like, it's just, yep. Inquisitive Philomath said, Chris, do you think 17 is an okay age to give my son your book? I do. I think that would be okay. Another super chat said, he says, if I loved him, I'd go. That's manipulation.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's
bullshit.
Yeah.
That made me angry. That made me instantly angry.
I can tell. That's manipulation. He regrets not being there for his family. His grandma died while he was here, and I feel resents me that his grandma never got to meet our son. He brings it up at times with argument. That doesn't sound healthy to me.
You guys have some very deep-seated issues that need to be worked through.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend probably seeking out marriage counseling. Maybe he needs a therapist. Blaming you for leaving, for the choice that he made to leave his family, is very fucked up.
Yeah, I agree. Getting all kinds of notifications over here. What time are the group calls? Evenings, afternoons, AM? I work during the day and I wouldn't want to miss it.
So for each group, there are 2 call times. For my Women's Thrive, we have 1 call that starts at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we have another call that happens at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there's 2 different call times for you to be able to join, and they both happen on different days. For the Sacred Sisterhood group, 4 calls a month. So every week we have a group call, and it alternates Sunday and Wednesday. Sunday's calls happen at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Wednesday's calls happen at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all calls are recorded. So for all of the ladies who are unavailable for the calls, you guys are certainly missed on the calls. We definitely love hearing your guys' voices and your lives. But you will not miss out on the conversations by listening, because they're all posted in the resources tab of those sections.
Aubrey said, what is your advice for trying to do the child check-ins with multiple children? I would do them solely.
One-on-one.
Yeah, because it's about a connection. Mm-hmm. And if there's something going on that's embarrassing with the kids, or there's conflict, they're not going to be forthcoming with you.
Right.
Yeah, you're supposed to create space for your people, guys. Or for your kids, for that matter. Jay said that's very true, bro. Or when you have a victory and they say it must be nice, that must have came through after we said that or before we said that.
I think I was having a conversation with somebody who was very close to me, and it was actually pretty detrimental to our relationship because I was sharing something that I was really excited about our life. It was going to make my life a lot easier. And then I was hit with, oh, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Just 100% took the wind out of my sails. Not only did that shift the conversation from what I was excited about to pity me on the other end. Hearing people say that, so like my mind goes to, so do you think like I'm better than you or something? Do you think I'm higher up than you because I'm able to do this thing with my life? I worked hard to get to this point. I'm allowed to be excited about the things I'm excited about, and if it makes you feel a certain way, that's not my problem.
Gotta remove those people from our lives.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit.
Me.
I would rather celebrate with a very small group of people that really are truly happy to see us win than have hundreds of people around us who are secretly like, oh, behind our backs. It's just not, I don't know. Gamma Ray said, if we upgraded Women's Thrive or Sacred Sisterhood, are we still able to gain base access to Discord for our spouse, or do they need their own access? I don't know the answer to that. I do believe that if you get into the higher tiers, you still get partner access.
Yeah.
But I want to say the answer to that is yes. Didn't we have a call about that like a month ago?
The answer is yes.
Okay, we'll say yes. And if we're wrong, then we'll get with the wizards and correct that so that we're not wrong.
Right. Yeah, I think every tier
gets the lower tiers.
Right. So there's the $20 chat for you to be able to bring your spouse in.
Right.
And then the ultimate chat, and then it just goes up from there. I'm almost certain that everything above the partner tier gains access with the partner.
I agree. Yep. Jenna said 100% our teenage daughter and I did our first check-in back-to-back touching while she sketched. It helped her open up a lot.
I love that.
That's because you allowed her to use the creative side of her brain to work through things, and like the information was free flowing a whole lot differently.
Yeah.
That's actually really smart. Really, really smart.
You know, I see people all the time try to get their child's undivided attention on them and make them stop fiddling or fidgeting or whatever. I notice that our son listens best when he's able to focus on something with his hands.
Yeah.
I don't know why people would try to squash that. The point of the conversation is to have it understood. And if your child is disassociating during the conversation, or their attention span is jumping because they don't have anything to truly focus on, at that point, I just feel like it's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
You're speaking at them and not speaking with them.
Well, they're definitely not listening.
Right.
Jay said, I feel that, Peaches. I distanced myself from an old friend who basically said it must be nice, and I wish I could do that after I told him I booked our honeymoon. Like our fucking honeymoon, dude. Yeah,
I mean, you could. That's my response. I wish I could do that. Well, you could if you put in enough time, effort, energy. I'm rereading the Let Them theory. I went through my first run of it. I'm doing the second run of it. And one thing that's standing out a lot to me this second round is she was talking about a woman who was trying to do something on social media, like a bakery or something. She was trying to create her own business with social media. And then this other woman started doing the same thing, and it took off immediately. And this chick was super sour about it. Like, I don't understand. I'm doing all of these same things. But what this woman didn't realize, let's just call the woman who took off Marissa. Behind the scenes, she's dedicating hours to marketing and working social media and working on phrasing and times to post and all these other kinds of things. And the woman, super salty, let's call her Sally, is doom scrolling. And she's logging on to Facebook and she's stalking Marissa because it gives her somewhere to put her energy instead of actually focusing on her business.
Yep. That was actually a really big topic in that book.
Yeah.
A lot of good points in that too. And like when she mentions that, she talks that Sally actually had decades in the business and the other person was brand new at it, but the other person was willing to do the work that she wasn't willing to do.
Right.
Like utilize social media and the marketing aspect and like make the 5 posts a day and all the bullshit that
comes with being on social media.
Right. The comfy pants that I bought is out for delivery.
Ooh, exciting.
Yep. It's so weird because I see like little blips of things where people are trying to like like say something to us, and
Yeah.
it's literally like, well, I just saw this, or you know what I mean, like, this little thing. I'm sorry, whatever, blah blah blah. But we can't see the rest of the context.
Ashley on Facebook said, "You guys saved me. Thank you for everything you do." We didn't save you. We just gave you a perspective that you hadn't had yet.
Yeah.
And that's at the disservice of the other people in your life. I've been thinking pretty heavily on that. What we provide to people is what they were failed to be given by the people in their own life.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
You saved yourself.
Yeah. We're just all we're really doing is giving the information that we had to dig for. Like none of this shit's new, and not all of it's ours. Like the check-ins is ours. We created the check-ins. But beyond that, like there are other people out there who have created similar check-ins. It doesn't mean that ours is better or theirs is better. It just means that we had different thought processes while we were creating it. But when we're having conversations, we've read so many fucking books that we've been able to apply things to our lives, and we're just giving the information away that we've worked. Like it's worked for us. Lindsay said, I used to use similar statements to the "it must be nice" and "oh, that's nice," but I didn't mean it as snarky. But since I've heard y'all talk about it, how it comes across negatively, I now reword those comments. It does come across negative.
It does.
Because the people that say it 90% of the time do have a negative like tone to it. Oh, it must be nice. You're so lucky. That one fucking drives me up the wall.
Yeah.
Luck would be winning the lottery on the one time that I happen to play the lottery.
Luck would be hoping that the car starts, and it does.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Jay said they see the castle never all the time, and energy carrying the bricks. Faye said, I was asking if my best friend is friends with a predator protector. With a predator protector, should I cut ties or just distance myself from the situation? I just want an outside source to give me their true opinion. If my best friend is friends with a predator protector.
Oh, like somebody raped someone and they're trying to excuse that behavior? Or like a child predator and they're trying to keep it under wraps?
Yeah,
I don't play that game.
I think that ultimately it doesn't matter what the outside opinion is anyway. Don't betray your feelings for the beliefs of somebody else.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If something doesn't feel right to you, emailer or person leaving the comment, that's all that fucking matters. I don't care what anybody has to say. I don't care if your mom tells you that you're wrong or you're right. If it makes you feel fucked up, that's all you need to know. Listen to your gut, guys. There's no excusing that behavior. It doesn't matter what you say. I don't like the way this makes me feel, and I'm responsible for my own energy. You got to fucking go away. Go do your thing. Like, that's just all there is that. Michaela said, I brought up marriage counseling. He refuses. He doesn't think counseling works, but shuts down when I try to talk. Tried probing, but it feels like he wants it to stop. You should send us an email.
Yeah.
Because you sent us multiple super chats, and I love the money. Thank you for sending the multiple super chats, but it would be a lot more cost efficient and a whole lot more helpful if you just wrote everything out and sent us an actual email. Do you have something that you want to touch on that? Because I kind of just talked over you.
I just hate that you're in this situation. This sucks. I know what it feels like to be made to feel like everything is your fault.
Yeah.
And it's not. He is a grown-ass man making his own choices. You're not the reason his grandmother died. You're not the reason the grandmother did not meet your guys' son before she passed away. You're not the reason he left Guatemala.
Right.
Unless you were. Like he came over here to get a green card or something, but...
Could be.
We don't know the extent of that. But even then, he made that choice. He chose to walk away from the family he had in Guatemala for whatever reasons he did. And I have a very hard time with people who try to make other people feel like they're the reasons everything's going wrong.
Right. Can't have an argument if both people aren't engaged in the argument. Can't have a relationship if it's one-sided. You can't have a conversation if somebody's not engaged. That whole "you're the problem and I'm never the problem" is not a relationship.
No.
There's a whole lot of issues that come along with that, and that's somebody that's never going to have a successful marriage. You're going to end up finding yourself becoming a shell of a human being, because you're going to constantly give up the things that make you happy to satiate whatever ugly your partner's got going on, and your light's going to dim out. And that's really what's going to happen. And it happens with people all the time.
And it happens faster than you realize.
Ahiri Soju said, long time no see. Sorry for disappearing for so long. Unemployment hit me hard, but I've been a silent listener this whole time. Glad to finally catch a live while doing paperwork at my new job. Love that you got a new job.
Ooh.
I hope that you're thriving.
Good for you. That just gave me goosebumps.
Super chat from Lexi. For comments, bring a laptop and pull up your live stream to watch as a viewer. Mute it. And then you can see it. Where'd it go? And then you can see the chat as it appears. I did this on Facebook and it helped me avoid the delay. There you go. Amen. They try to take your character. Christians, exclamation point, question mark times 4. I don't know what that's to, Patrick. Wow. He said, wow. And he said that, nope. Scrolling to see what else that's to. There's no excuse for it. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know.
Cameron said, hello, this is my first time in one of your lives. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Welcome.
We're going to be wrapping up here in a minute. We've been on for about 40 minutes longer than we normally do these lives because it's been engaging.
Yeah.
But
we're at almost 500 over.
Holy shit.
Yeah, damn near 500 people watching.
But we will be going live on Patreon when we're done. Oh, look, Chloe said, how much are y'all going to be live? How much longer are you going to be live? Probably another 5 or 10 minutes. I'd like to wrap up, hit a bathroom break, let the dogs out, and then start doing our actual job instead of the live stuff. We got emails to read and content to create. I think that next week we'll only be doing a live. I think that we should probably switch our schedule a little bit on next week so that we're not working Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Okay.
I would like to have that decompression time without the internet before going into ceremony again.
I agree with that.
So I think Monday and Tuesday of next week we'll come in and do the work, and then we'll cut off until we get back from ceremony.
Danielle asked, when is your next live? So we go live every single Wednesday. Sometimes we go live at 10 a.m. Sometimes we go live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, depending on what life throws at us.
Right.
But it will always be between those two time frames, and it's always going to be Eastern Standard Time. We live on the East Coast.
Yeah. And as for the next time we go live, we'll be going live for Patreon as soon as we wrap this up. But we'll probably go live Monday or Tuesday next week just to get it out of the way because we'll be taking some extra time off. That's what we were talking about when we saw your chat.
Yes.
Somebody named Dylan said, this is my first time watching a live. You guys inspire me so much in life. Dude, I hope that you take what we say and the things that we give you and it fucking lights a fire under your ass and you are super successful in whatever that looks like to you.
I agree with that. Can you scroll up just a little bit, please?
Absolutely.
Tamara said, do you help get started on Discord with Sacred Sisters? I have no idea how to work it. Girl, I'm going to be totally honest. I don't know how Discord works either. I know when you sign up through Patreon, it gives you, so you have to do this on a desktop. Do not try to do this on your phone. The Patreon app on the phone is absolute trash.
You can do it through Google Chrome or whatever web browser you have on your phone.
Yeah.
But it needs to be through a browser, not through the app.
Okay.
It is easier on a desktop though.
When you sign up on Patreon, it's going to give you the option to add your Discord right there in Patreon. And then once you sign into the Discord, because of the tier that you sign on in, you will automatically be added into the Sacred Sisterhood group chats and then have access to the rest of the Discord as well. For any of the ladies who are looking to join in soon, I just wanted to give a quick rundown of everything. All the information that you need to know is posted in the resources tabs. I have pinned messages in those tabs. So if you click resources, there is going to be like pinned messages, search for whatever media and all those kinds of things. Go to the pinned messages. I have our call schedules posted there. Important messages are posted there. And I also have a quick little cheat sheet on what all of the chats do and their main purposes.
Anthony asked if I'm going to release an audio copy of my book. So right now, the answer to that is yes. When, I don't know. The goal is to have Zach record it, which is something that I think he's doing. I haven't asked him yet. We've talked about it a couple of times. He's going to record the entire thing and we're going to play it and then we're going to discuss in between chapters or things of that nature so that we can actually create an audiobook. As it sits right now, if I don't have an audiobook recorded and ready to go by the end of May, like by the time we get back from Costa Rica, I'm just going to sit down and record the audiobook myself and not do the crazy thing that I wanted to do because I want to get it out there.
Yeah.
And then the next book that I'm currently writing, before I even get it ready to go, I will have the audiobook ready to release the same day that the book drops so that I'm not doing the thing.
Catch up.
Yep.
I'm going to have an audiobook for mine as well. I'm going to sit down and record that.
Yeah. I think people would enjoy your voice. Morgan said, you guys are amazing. You have helped me so much to see the problems in my relationship and the problems that I cause in it. I have been working so hard to fix me and help my partner, and I work through things. Thank you. I'm excited you might move to Tennessee. One day. One day. Ashen Memories for $10 said, any idea for trying to date as a trucker that's not solely online? Fuck, I have no idea. That's a rough one because you're never in one place for very long.
Right. Do you have a home base?
Good question.
And if so, how long are you at that home base for? And how much of a priority is it for you to try to facilitate some type of romantic relationship?
Right.
And I ask that because if you're home for a week and then you're on the road for 3 to 4 weeks at a time, that 1 week I'm going to be out of my house as much as possible to try to put myself out there. Go to places I enjoy being at. If you're not a books a million type of person, don't try to find a books a million kind of girl.
Right.
Right? Or a guy. There was no gender assigned to that. If you enjoy Home Depot, go to Home Depot. Walk around for a little bit. You might bump into somebody. You see a man or a woman trying to find something and you know that store like the back of your hand. Hey, can I help you with something?
Right.
You look a little lost. I got a map. Where are you trying to go?
A little kindness goes a long way.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't make a romantic relationship, we could all use a good friend.
Right.
Yeah. Michaela said, thank you guys very much for your input. Made me cry, but everything you've said, I have thought of. It's nice having opinions from people not involved. You're both amazing. I'll write an email. I think that we should wrap up and go over to Patreon.
Yeah. In that email, when you do the subject line, put in there that put your name, your YouTube name, and comment saying that you were the one who posted multiple super chats. That way it can be, it won't be discarded or overlooked or lost in the plethora of emails that we get every day.
Chris said, oh man, all these new books and audiobook, I'm gonna have to reorganize the site menu. LOL. Well, you're gonna be on payroll by the end of the day, so
yeah,
that's that'll be a thing. So with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday afternoon. And if you're not a member of our Patreon, you're gonna miss out on the rest of our afternoon. If you are not going to join our Patreon because you're just that stubborn or you don't want to donate that way, you can go ahead and just share the content, and we'll see you guys on Monday or Tuesday when we do this again. Are we doing an After Dark this week?
No, we have the Kids Friday.
Okay. All right, guys, with that being said, thanks for tuning in.
Bye, guys.